Peace, family. Always understand the power is with the people. I don't know and don't care what neighborhood or community you come from. Always understand the power is in your hands. It's not in your local government, it's not in the representatives, it's in your hands, right? And we have to understand that from constituent standpoints, right? When you elect folks to get in position, when you charge governments, right, to be able to improve quality or higher quality of life, that's something that we all take part in. And when you have to get, real about what's going on in your local community, the local politics is your most important system to be involved in. You have to really play a part. You cannot just let it fall by the wayside and think everybody else is going to do the work. Even when we elect someone, we elect them to represent for us. And so, meaning that, you have to go ahead and give those ideas, give those plans, right? Concepts that you want to see in your community so it all makes sense and come together. And policies, decision making, everybody should be on the table with it. So, next time you think about an election coming up, which is in 2026, you be sure to be at the table. Because always remember, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Peace, family. Welcome you to another edition of Royal Politikin. I'm your host, DeWaun E. Robinson, and we're here live in Flint. Big shout out to the team, Flintstone Girls, Coach Brian. Right, we in the house. We downtown in the city of Flint, getting you another segment. This is episode 2, and I'm sitting here with my brother, my good brother. Right, we come up in the back in the days, man, coming up from high school. Um, you may know him as a different name, but right now we sitting with Amir Hassan.
Amir Hassan, yes,
What's
sir.
up, brother? What's up?
Thank you for having me, fam.
So of course, I'm glad you're the mix.
Yeah,
For those who may not be accustomed to the new name, right?
yeah. Birth name Garrett Roberts.
Yeah, Robinson. Yes, sir.
They know me from Northwestern days, but Amir
Absolutely.
Hassan is my name.
Absolutely,
Absolutely,
absolutely, man.
absolutely.
And so, man, big shout out to everybody, man. Who we come up with on that collective, right? You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I
Shout out
went
to
to
all the
Flint
guys.
Central. You went
Yeah, I
to
went to Northwestern, man. We got those
right.
Whittier days, those Longfellow days
Come
that
on
we
now.
all tied in.
Come on now.
You know,
Come
it's
on.
Flint, man. So it's all love. No matter where you went, Holmes,
That's right.
McKinley, it doesn't matter. It's all
Yeah.
love. It's all love.
Even when we mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
And we was kind of just discussing, like,
Mhm.
at a time when Flint had multiple different high schools and we had multiple middle schools and elementaries, right? And it was just a pride that we had because
Absolutely.
one thing for sure, man, we churned out a lot of prolific sports figures, right?
Yeah.
People in entertainment,
Yeah.
just like we just had talent across the board. So
Yeah.
I remember them days of Central playing Northwestern and Northern and Southwestern, right? And all the greats that came out of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Those were some good memories.
Man, it's the best. You know, being around the world, travel like you would do,
Yes,
travel
sir.
like I do. You
Hmm.
always meet somebody from Flint doing great
I know,
things.
right?
Behind the scenes,
It
it's
do be like
always a
that.
Flintstone there. For the smallest city, a city under 100,000, I
Come
would
on.
dare
Yeah.
say there's not another city that produces as much talent and figures, prolific figures,
That's right.
as many as Flint has.
I'm telling
I,
you.
I would say numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Under 100,000,
Hmm.
I would love to see it, but
Yeah.
we definitely put our stamp on the map
We sure
and we're
did.
making things happen. So
Hmm.
that's what we're fighting for. That's
Man,
what we're fighting
absolutely,
for.
man.
Yeah,
Even in our heyday, man, at one point in time, Flint was the third richest city per capita,
there you go.
right? And we had close to about 300,000 people here. Right now, we about what, 80,000, between 80 and 85,000 people here in the city of Flint. But we was that mecca at one point in time when you had shops up and down industrial. You had
Absolutely.
Saginaw doing crazy numbers.
New York
The
City.
neighborhoods was built up, right? And you had a lot of people that was earning a good income, by way of GM and
We're the
the
birthplace of
shops.
the middle class, and people really have to
Absolutely.
understand that's not a cliche. That's not a. We were the birthplace of the middle class. We introduced
Hmm.
the middle class to this nation
Yes, we did.
through General Motors,
Yes, we did.
through Buick City. And that pride never leaves. Vehicle
Mhm.
city before Motor City.
Of course.
Know that.
And I always had to tell my brothers from the D, man.
Hey, let them know.
And
You know
let 'em
what I
know,
mean?
man, we started that here now. You
Hey,
know what I'm saying? I
let's.
know y'all maximize on your opportunity with the cars and
They got bodies,
transportation.
man. They just got
They
more
did
people,
it, right?
man.
But it started here in the city of Flint.
The originator.
Come on now. Come on.
But it's all love, man. Up and down 75, we fighting for the same thing. We fighting for that
Yeah.
good way of life.
Yeah.
We fighting for more jobs, and we're fighting for those opportunities.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
time to bring them back.
And so now as we look, we here. We at this point in time where Flint is going through a transition,
Right,
right?
right.
We going through some traumatic times when you talk about the water crisis, when you talk about it with that as being academic, then you got the pandemic that took place, right? Um, and like we were just talking about all the things that was birthed here in Flint,
Mhm.
fair housing was one of those things too, right?
Yes,
When you had
yes.
good brothers like Woody Earthly down there staging down at City Hall where
Mhm.
they did a shutdown, and you see the activism that played a part here in the city, man, to correct some things. When we talk about we are the originators and introducing middle class here into America,
Mhm.
man, we got a lot to be proud of about our glorious past,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And as we transition now and where we at today, we a city that has been in disarray,
Okay.
right? And there's many dynamics that played a part into where
Mhm.
we are today.
Mhm.
When you look at the economics, we don't have that economic base that we did have
Right,
when we were at our height.
right,
Like when we were, you know, 300,000 strong, we had GM,
right,
we had Fisher Body, right? You had Delco, you had all these different industries here in the city, right?
Mhm.
And everybody was, everybody had a job.
Right.
My people come from the South.
Okay.
So my grandfather came from Mississippi,
Mhm.
and the whole family came up here, and they all got jobs. When they was 18, and to go work in a foundry and
Mhm.
work in the plant
Mhm.
and make a way for
Mhm.
for everybody else coming up behind them, and end up going back down south,
Mhm.
right? So now we at this point where I think Flint should have looked at being like, how can we be visionary about the future? If we are creating, automobile industry here,
Yeah.
I don't understand why we didn't look at it from building electric cars, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
being,
The-
being foreseeing the
Innovative,
future.
and you know what happened? This actually happened before our time.
Hmm.
GM started phasing out in the 80s, right? And
Absolutely.
so when NAFTA came around, they started sending our jobs to Canada and
Hmm.
Mexico. That's when the innovation and the foresight should have kicked in then, right?
Absolutely. That's right.
Okay, if we're not going to be relying upon the automotive industry, what is the next industry?
Hmm.
And you have to be in front of the wave. If you
Yeah.
ride the wave or if you're after the wave, you're going to drown, right?
Absolutely.
And that's where we're drowning now. So now we have to look at where we are. GM is not coming back in full force. Matter of fact, GM just laid off 1,400 jobs.
I saw that.
You
I
know,
did see.
they're building EV plants, but
Hmm.
we're not ready for the EV transition.
You don't think so?
Nah, man, we're ICE. We're ICE engines. That's what's going to be what gets us through. Because the thing about the EV,
Hmm.
bro, if it takes 30 minutes,
To
two
charge?
hours to charge,
Yeah.
I got a
That's
place
crazy.
to go.
I know.
When it's cold outside, are we expecting everybody to have a supercharger in their garage?
That's what I
That's not
think. That's
feasible.
what they.
Yeah,
But don't when you buy the car, you get the charger.
you get a plug-in charger. That
But
takes 8 to 12 hours.
that's when you just like
You
letting it
plug
sit
it
at
into a
home.
regular outlet, yeah, and you plug it in at home.
Okay.
However, what's the range of that vehicle, right? And then if you use all the amenities or luxuries of the vehicle, air conditioning, cruise control, this is all power suctioning off of that battery. So
Absolutely.
therefore, if it had 350 max, you might be getting 200 miles per charge. And I
Mm-hmm.
got to charge for 8 to 10 hours. How is that? Or you get stuck in a snowstorm. I'd rather have a full tank of gas.
Yeah, you ain't lying,
I'd
man.
rather have
I
full
agree
tank
with you.
gas. So there's a need for both. But in Michigan, in our winters and our seasons, bro,
Yeah, that'd be kind of hard.
yeah, yeah. And there's mandates.
Hmm.
We can get into the government stuff, but there's been mandates 2030, 2040,
Yeah,
energy mandates, and we don't have the systems for it yet. And so we're not ready for that transition. But getting to your original point, it's time to transition and look for other opportunities of work. It's time to
that's
let's
what.
get there. Yeah.
No, we honestly had to look at, like you were saying, like, okay, we had the automobile industry. What's the next big thing? What's the
Mhm.
next industry that we can be a part of to
Yeah.
be innovative
Yeah.
for the future, right?
Yeah. So me and let me introduce my campaign. Let me tell
Oh,
people.
absolutely. I'm trying,
So
folks.
I'm running for Congress to represent this district, which is Genesee, Saginaw, Midland, and Bay County. It's the 8th Congressional District.
Okay.
And so my campaign speaks about that very thing, is getting people into the trades.
Yeah.
So NVIDIA CEO, he just came out and said the future millionaires and billionaires are all going to be in the trades. When we say the
Much skill
trades,
trade?
all trades,
Okay.
electrical, plumbing, HVAC, fencing, masonry, carpentry, skilled trades. Because what we see is AI is coming, right? So
It's here.
all the jobs that AI can do, they will do. So whether that's drive-through, fast food service, you don't need a human inside McDonald's if I can tell the machine to drop a patty, put ketchup
But
on it.
do you really want that?
It doesn't
Do
matter
we
what.
really want robots preparing our meals?
Do you think when it went from horse and buggy to motorized vehicle, people was ready for motorized vehicle, or did it just come and take over, and then slowly and surely you see less horses on the road? That's the natural progression. It doesn't matter what we want.
Mm-hmm.
People want fast service, and then bots are here. They're not going anywhere. So it's not about us fighting it. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, so how can I make myself indispensable to that industry? Right?
Relevant.
So either I need to learn how to code, I need to learn how to build these bots, these AI bots, fix these AI bots, program these AI bots.
Yeah.
I need to find a trade that's not reliant upon that industry, right?
Absolutely.
And that's where we come in here. So when I talk about the trades, my goal is Flint, Michigan, 8th Congressional District, Flint to Bay City, essentially, to be the hub of the trades for the nation. I want to build trade schools here. I want to have vocational high school that's all trade from 9th through 12th grade. When you graduate, you walk in. So when you graduate now and you go D1 for college hoop, and you get to have a signing day and show your hat, I want the same thing for the trade. I signed with Robinson Plumbing. And they all in the background cheering you on because they're working somebody to a middle class lifestyle. If I tell you the stats, 1 year of apprenticeship for the trades, you can come up making upwards of $30 an hour.
Oh yeah.
4 years, you graduate after apprenticeship, your 4-year study, right? You come up 6 figures, guaranteed.
Yes, sir.
Electricians are the number one trade going unfulfilled right now. 6 figures, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Anybody listening, listen. If you want to work, it takes hard work. You want to get up. Class start at 6 a.m. You're gonna be in there all day. But you go to school, and then in your semester off, you get to go work and make money and learn OJT.
On the job experience. Come on now. Yeah.
While you're working in your community, that very trade is building up this community. So when we talk about taking care of this city, taking care of Flint, getting back to how we were 300,000, well, we got to fix the foundation. And the foundation is these streets. You fix the streets. And when I say the streets, the cracks in the street, make sure everybody's eating. How are you going to make sure everybody eat? Everybody works. How do we make sure everybody works? Well, fill the jobs that are going unfulfilled. You can't be hungry and then also say you don't want to do a certain job.
You know what? And when you say like the skilled trades, skilled trades industry, I know it's been a dying industry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I used to be a welder, right? So I was doing MIG, TIG, flux core, carbon arc. That was well-known rail cars. And making some really good money doing that. So you're absolutely correct. And I was down there towards Detroit. And then that was like the first time I was introduced to us having like robots, like actually doing the welds, right? And it'd be welding all night while we gone. You might mess up a whole bunch of parts, which we had to come back in and fix, right?
It's called job security.
Absolutely. But you saw, on the horizon, like, man, while we doing 100 parts a day, the robot then kicked out 5,000. So it ain't too much long, right? You know what I'm saying? Before you have a couple robots in here and taking over everybody's job. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, skilled trades is a dying industry, and we do need pipe fitters. We do need electricians. We do need folks that's in HVAC. We need all that, right?
You can go anywhere in the world with it. You become a welder, you become an underwater welder, you go down to Texas, Louisiana to these big oil rigs, on the ships, you go out to Virginia. I was in the Navy in Portsmouth, Virginia, the ships in the shipyard.
That was big money.
Man, they eating.
Yeah.
They are eating.
The underwater is crazy.
No, yeah,
welder
yeah,
underwater?
scuba suit and all
It's
that,
like, wow.
but you getting money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like
exactly.
my point is, and it's not all about money, but if there's a lifestyle where you work, but you get paid and compensated well,
Absolutely.
and the issue is it's not spoken in a way that people understand this is just a viable option, just like college is.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is you don't come out with $100,000 or $50,000 in debt.
No, you
The
don't.
difference is you work, it's like catering. Remember, or GMI for the older
Mm-hmm.
folk, but catering, you go to semester, you work a semester, you go semester, work semester, the same thing with the trades.
Yeah, I think that's something too, because like a lot of people may not be going to college. Like you said,
Yeah.
man, some people going to college,
You dropping out
they
just
assume all this debt, and
man.
they don't even get a
If they make it,
job in
yeah,
the degree field that they done went
talk
to
about it.
school for,
Talk
right?
about it.
So it definitely becomes like, why did I do this
Yeah,
situation?
yeah.
And then some people just not interested in going to university, college, just in general. So what do you do? Because you do have to eat, you do have to take care of
You gotta
yourself and
work.
your family. You have to work.
You gotta work.
So instead of getting a general labor position,
Right.
right?
Right.
Why not learn a trade, go through apprenticeship, right?
There's so many different trades too.
It's so many. It's so
There's
many.
there's so many different trades for every type of person, and females included. I don't
Hmm.
want women to think they can't. Doesn't matter if you're dainty, feminine, or not.
Yeah.
There's a trade for you, and there's a space for you because they still have HR in these places.
Yep.
There's use your talents. Don't let anyone tell you your talents can't be applied to different industries, especially industries that's maybe not dominated by people that look like you or from where you're from.
Hmm.
They're available and they're
Yeah.
going unfulfilled.
Hmm.
The thing, bro, we have too many people that count themselves out before they really ever see the opportunities they had.
Hmm.
And it's simply a conversation. People coming back like, no, this is available. This is available. This is how you do it.
Hmm.
And if you have questions, come back and see me.
Absolutely. That's right. I
That
think.
network, that bridge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's what it's really about. Me traveling around, I go up and down the district every single day
Hmm.
around the state, and I've lived overseas. Um, you see, for one, you see poverty outside of this country, right?
Hmm.
And so you've been to Africa a few times. I've been,
Absolutely.
um, I was in Eastern Africa, and the dude told me $1 feeds him for 6 months. $1 will feed him for 6 months.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah,
Like $1 is equivalent to, let's say, 50 Uganda shillings, right?
yeah,
So
and same in South Africa, same. Yeah, yeah,
you can eat. I'm talking about, and it's not a little meal, like big fish, big whole fish. I'm talking about 3, 4 times a day,
yeah,
and I was eating good for with like $5, ten
yeah.
dollars. You know
So
what I'm
money
saying?
goes far, but now
Yeah,
think what somebody over there is willing to do
yeah.
to make that money, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I know if I can eat for 6 months if I get this $1 American dollar, I'm willing to work hard. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I'm willing to work hard.
Yeah.
We have to have that same mentality here.
Mm-hmm.
We have it better than them. We have it better than them when you compare that. However, we have to have the same mentality as nobody's gonna stop me from winning, nobody's gonna stop me from providing, nobody's gonna stop me from getting better. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be the narration of what we have going on here when we look at jobs and joblessness, right? Certain jobs ain't never coming back. Going into the shop at 18 is not that's our father's generation, our mother's
That is.
generation.
That
But
is.
going into the trades can't happen. And
Mm-hmm.
for those who do want to go to college, we'll go to college for a job that's actually paying. That
Mm-hmm.
you actually it's in a place where you want to live,
Mm.
whether it's here or not. Do that research, work backwards. I got a daughter in college,
Okay.
right? So
Good.
we figure out what she want to do.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to school to be a teacher. You always need teachers, right? You always need
Always.
teachers.
Yeah.
Always need teachers, and they don't get paid enough. We need to take care of our teachers more.
That's right.
However, when I'm telling her, she's talking about all these different jobs. We rule out the jobs that you ain't getting paid or you're not getting the actual job,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're ruling all that out. All the fancy stuff that's not even an option.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a real conversation. Why are we going to work? So we can provide for our lifestyle.
That's
You
it.
can't provide for your lifestyle if you get a degree in something nobody's paying for.
So that's the thing of doing your research first and foremost. And I know sometimes, like even then, like sometimes people may, do it because of a passion.
Yeah,
I, you know, I know, and it's really, I guess, case by case. But when you do something that you love to do, and it could be anything, right? Not necessarily doing it for the money,
yeah,
but like doing it because you can see yourself doing it, right? That's the difference in, saying like, okay, well,
yeah,
I'm happy about getting up every morning to go to this place because it may not necessarily be the funds that I'm making, right? But
Yeah.
it's because the passion that in.
If that
And
can
then that may
sustain,
make a way for you because
yeah,
it's sustainable.
if that
Yeah.
sustains you,
Yeah. Yeah.
it goes both ways. Because
Mhm.
I was raised, but my father was, born in 41. He was an old school, and I was raised like that's to work in a field that you love is a luxury, is what he used to tell me.
For sure.
He worked in the shop. He was
Mhm.
like, man, I don't love this. But when I retired with that pension, then he followed his dream. He became a landlord and buying houses, flipping. That was his passion. That's where he felt
There you
good.
go. Come on.
However, he secured his base. He
You secure
secured
the
his
bag
stability
first.
first.
Yeah, right.
So if you do have a
Yeah.
passion, chase your dreams.
That's right.
But responsibility come fast. And when we talk about these youngins, right?
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, chase your dreams, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You in college, those college years, chase them. Go
Mhm.
hard.
Yeah.
But understand responsibility is coming. Whether it's not you got a family, you
Yeah.
got kids to provide for, you got an old lady to provide for, your mom is getting older, whatever the case may be, believe me, responsibilities is coming. You're gonna need
Absolutely. Yeah.
stability.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it come back to accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Secure the bag, and then on top of pursue your passion. You might not sleep 6 hours a night. You might get 2 hours of sleep. You got to work your full job and pursue your full-time passion.
Yeah, no, you ain't lying. I mean, it definitely. I do respect the thing about securing the bag, making sure that it's sustainable, right?
Yeah,
Making sure that you follow your, whatever your purpose is. But you're gonna have to definitely make a way, and I think that's
absolutely.
something that has to be done,
First,
and that has to be first and foremost. And then when you get in a position to be like, okay, well, you know what, it is. I would like to get into real estate because that's something that I
yeah,
wanted to do, right?
yeah.
But I did what I had to do what I
What
wanted
you
to do.
just man, say it again.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
got to do what you
And you're
got to
right.
do,
I
so you
agree.
can do what you want to do.
We all these like we all just doing what we got to do right
We
now.
got to do what we got to do, and
You
it
know,
never changes.
what?
It never changes. You always got to
Yeah,
do what you got to do.
for sure. It do.
Now you can
Yeah.
delay it, but you're gonna put yourself further behind the eight ball. Do what you got to do from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's always, man, you know this. Life is hard. Now I always say this. Life is hard for everybody.
Hmm.
Life is hard. No matter what. You
Yeah.
can't compare pain. Everybody going through something. Life is hard. So therefore, you can't try to run away from the struggle or anything else. You might as well embrace it and get through it so you
Hmm.
can get some brighter days, right?
Come
Lay
on.
that foundation and a
That's
hustle.
it.
And I always talk about we from here, man.
Hmm.
We from here. We've lost friends,
Yeah.
right?
Of course.
That didn't get to see where we are now,
Hmm.
right? Loved ones.
Unfortunately, but
So
they living vicariously through us.
every time.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
and that's for good or bad. So every
Yeah.
time you make a mistake or do something intentional that was not for your betterment,
Yeah.
you letting somebody down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Somebody that had their faith and vision for you. You know how many people, was going to the military. My best friend, man, he was like, man, he started crying. He was like, dog, you gotta go be successful. I can't go with you. I can't go with you. And I tried. I took his ass bad for him. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I can't go with you. Whatever was holding him back. That's real. Somebody's looking up to you. Somebody's looking up to y'all.
Hmm.
Somebody's always there. So that
Hmm.
should be enough motivation. It was like, man, I got to keep going.
Come on now.
I got to keep going.
Yeah.
Somebody's relying on me.
And
Yeah.
listen, and if you ever feel down, like, and I want to key in on that real quick. Somebody depend on you, whether it be a child, family member, or a friend. Somebody is dependent on you. So what? You gotta make it, and you gotta go back and open up the door for everybody else. And like that's the thing when we talking right now, just kind of reflecting on, some of the homeboys that we lost, right? Or some of
Yeah.
the people that still stuck out there right now, man, just looking for a way. But in all actuality, they probably are looking to you one way or another. We got to make it, man. And I
Absolutely.
really want us to look at that because at the end of the day, I want us all to be successful.
That's the goal.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
the
want
goal.
everybody to be successful. You want
Let's go
everybody to
their
make
own
it,
way.
and
Yeah,
everybody got a high quality of life.
yeah.
And that depends on what we do today. That's gonna impact our tomorrow.
And I do want to
Mm.
say uh peace and blessings to the family of Mike Carwell.
Mhm.
He just passed. He's
Mhm.
our age.
Mhm.
Take care of your loved ones,
Absolutely.
and I'm sending my prayers and condolences to the family.
Mhm.
Um, we are at that age now where we're seeing classmates transition, and
Which is crazy.
because we're still young,
I
right?
know.
We're still young,
Yeah.
but the point is love on your loved ones.
Mhm.
We were having this discussion earlier. You never
Mhm.
know when it's the last day.
Yeah.
Cherish that, and please take care of yourself.
Mhm.
Please take care of yourself. And part of people looking up to you, the only perfect people are strangers. You ever heard that? The only perfect people are strangers. No, everybody else is flawed. However, you never know when you might influence a stranger. Just being yourself,
Yeah.
seeing you, the way you conduct yourself, the way you move around, seeing you're
Mhm.
hearing your story, what you
Yeah.
came up out of, what you
Mhm.
overcame. That's powerful. And
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how much power they have in just living, surviving, and trying to get better day by day.
Mm. Nah, that's real though, man.
Yeah.
That's definitely real. Definitely too, man. And shout out to Deion White, man. We lost him, man, and
Peace to the
it's
family.
unfortunate, right? Because we are young, and I think we be looking like we just got all the time left in the world, but you really don't.
No,
So, man, make sure you love on your people.
absolutely.
Make sure you tell them how much you care. Be sure to call folks. Like, don't be too busy that you can't check in with people. You can't even, holler at, what I'm saying, your folks. I'm always big on that. Sometimes I had to go back. I spend a day just probably calling folks up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I,
Just
I,
just
look,
tap in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man.
That's
'Cause
do it, because you're gonna regret it if you don't. You're gonna regret it if you don't. And we deserve love. We
mhm,
deserve, tapping in with your family, your friends. It's
mhm.
uh, we all trying to make it, man. We all trying to make it and make it a better place. Absolutely,
Come on
absolutely.
now. Come on, man.
Yeah,
So tell me this, right?
yeah,
So we touched about the campaign.
right.
What brought you into the game of politics? Like what
Yeah,
what what introduced you? Why did you get involved?
right.
And then what keeps you engaged?
So the overarching story is my military and law enforcement. So
Mm,
I was in the Navy, right? And so that took me overseas, took me to Guantanamo Bay, it took me to Italy, Asia.
mhm,
So I saw the military and what we were protecting in our opposition forces. And I was
mhm,
intelligence analyst at some point in the military. So when you're learning intel and you see how we're being attacked as a country,
mm.
it let me know like, yo, it's first of all, it's bigger than Flint, it's bigger than Michigan,
Interesting.
it's a national thing, and what they're trying to attack will affect everyone,
Mhm,
right? And so that's the first part. Then when I transitioned to law enforcement and I went into executive protection, um, so I was protecting essentially what people think of Secret Service. I
mhm,
was doing it for a different agency. Um, I'm actually inside these meetings. I'm in the White House. I'm in Capitol Hill, and or Capitol, and I'm hearing the meetings, and I'm seeing representatives, congressmen, senators fight for their district, fight for their state. And behind the curtain, you realize these are everyday people. These are regular people. In California, it was an orange farmer, you know what I mean, like a tomato guy. It's like, oh, it takes the idea that you can't do it once you see it up close and personal. It was like, oh, I can do this.
mhm,
The second part of that is there was nobody fighting for here
mhm.
properly.
Okay.
When I was in those rooms and I'm hearing these conversations from both sides of the aisle, I protected secretaries on both sides of the aisle.
Okay.
I never once heard anybody fighting for here with the same vigor and the same animus as people from other places.
Mm,
Never. So I was like, Nah, y'all don't understand how bad we need representation here. Y'all don't
mhm,
understand who we are here and what we meant to this country."
mhm,
So okay, cool. And then and it's some people consider it controversial. I don't. I see the way the country is headed, right? And I don't like what it means for our children.
mm,
When we start getting into um telling in our public education systems, boys can be girls,
mhm,
girls can be boys. That's
mhm,
not the way we're raised, and that's not the way most of this district was raised.
mhm.
I have an issue with the government mandating that type of education. To
Yeah.
me, that's not teaching open-mindedness.
Mhm,
That's teaching a ideology, and it's
mhm.
indoctrinated when you're putting it inside the curriculum
That's deep.
from K
Cause,
through 12.
'cause that's a big thing,
We just
right?
got passed this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying
Yeah,
it's a very big thing. And for us, like when you say like, if you was raised a certain type of way, that has to be respected too. I know when we say that everybody has to be respected.
yeah,
Everybody has to, we have to preach everything,
yeah.
which we do in respect. When you talk about human nature, when you talk about person to person, it's just respect. It's a mutual respect.
It's fine.
But then, how you were raised, like if you were raised under this way, and that there's a boy is gonna be a boy and a girl's gonna be a girl, that has to be respected too on levels. And that's why I say that's the balance. So, what I'm
Right.
saying? Sometimes you get kicked down when you get to talking about, hey, well, you know
Traditional
what? I don't
values.
agree with this. I don't agree with boys going into girls' bathrooms, right? The world Well, I just saying of the world, but this country seeks to punish that, and
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair. You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and so to that point,
Mm-hmm.
I stand on it. Right.
I see.
And so
Okay.
now it's a point where you have to draw a line in the sand because a friend of all is a friend of none.
Mm.
A person without morals and integrity will go wherever the wind blows, but you really don't know what that person believes. They'll say anything to you just to get you on their side.
Absolutely.
I'd rather you disagree with me and know where I stand
Yeah.
than agree with everything I say just because I'm trying to be your friend or I'm trying.
Ah, yeah.
That's fake, right? Growing up, we would call you, man, you fake,
Yeah.
you wish washy,
You
you
can't
don't,
please
you can't.
everybody.
No, and
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
not about pleasing. It's about where do you align? How do you want to
Mhm.
raise yours? And
Yeah.
mine is simply when I saw a man go into the bathroom with my daughter because he identified as a quote unquote woman, right?
For sure. Yeah.
I had to go into the women's bathroom as well. Now you got two men in there looking
Okay.
crazy,
Yeah.
right? So everybody gonna be uncomfortable because you made money. And the point is,
Yeah.
it's serious because I don't care what you do as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you live, real examples. In Midland, in Saginaw, they had a man dressed up in drag go to the public library and read to the children. So you would ask yourself, why is a drag queen conducting story time? What's
That's good.
what are we getting out of this? You know what I mean?
That's kind of wild.
It's wild,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
A public. Now, if you do that on your own time, so be it. But
Even
to
on your
do
own
it,
time, it's kind of wild.
well, hey man, it's a lot of wild stuff out here.
Mhm.
That ain't for me to. I'll never know. I'll never be in those situations. But knowing I have my kid at the library because I want them to be around other little kids in a safe space with nice books, cat in the hat,
Yeah.
and now I'm coming man in dress.
Yeah.
That's different than cat in the hat.
That's much different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Now,
so
I would. Yeah.
the issue is
Mhm.
when you start talking politically, right?
Yeah.
What happens is people merge things together. So they'll say this conversation we're having right now, they'll try to form it as you're being hate based or
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you're not being sensitive
Yeah.
to some other, and that's not true. What we're
Yeah.
saying is I'm a man of
Mm-hmm.
traditional value.
Yeah.
Simply as that. Simple as that.
Yes, sir.
Simple as that.
That's what I be saying. Like, you know, when people can't get it twisted because if these are your values, you standing on it. Just like, you know, people would say like the rhetoric when, you know, you might speak out about, you know, the oppression against black people. Right? I know
Yeah.
people always
Yeah.
say like, I know I be arguing with some folks online and having conversations with folks in different counties because I say that I'm proud to be black and I'm fighting for black people who have been oppressed and disenfranchised in this country that we built, right?
Mhm.
I got a problem with that. That's not to say I hate white people. It just mean that I respect the culture that I come from, right? I'm uplifting the people that look like me, especially when we so used to being kicked down. So it shouldn't be looked at as, oh, he
Anti
race baiting
anything. Yeah.
or that's, racial rhetoric, right? Nah, that's just, what I believe in. At the end of the day, I love all people. I'm a human just like us. We put my pants on just like everybody else. But you do have to respect the fact that I do want to, do what's good for my community, for my people, and then those that reflect a reflection of me.
And it's the same with me. And I
Mm.
think, me and DeWaun, we had a conversation previous before a couple
Mhm.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Um, and there's multiple ways to go about it.
Mhm.
I always say I'm for the American people, right?
Mhm.
Everything I speak about, we can talk about directly about the black community and how
Mhm.
we've been targeting and it's been affecting us. And
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
really informed my conservative ideals, my how I go about politics, because I see how the agenda has negatively affected us.
Mhm.
When we look at every statistic in the worst category, so when we look at like infant mortality rates, we're
Mhm.
number one.
Yeah.
We're looking at incarcerated males, we're number
Mhm.
one. We're number one most murdered
Yeah.
in this country for violence affects us.
Mhm.
We're number one in abortion rates. We're dead last in marriage rates.
Mhm.
So therefore, all my agenda and all my campaign speaks about the opposite of those, right?
Mm.
We want to fix all those numbers, returning to where we once were.
Mhm. Come on.
And the issue is sometimes it sounds so different than what we've been hearing for the last 50 years that people feel like we're attacking the culture itself. Like,
Mhm.
no, we're just trying to right the culture and get us back on track
I
because we've moved off track, right?
understand.
And so,
Right.
if it's two things, if a black man can't fight for black people, who can? For one,
Right.
How can you like you could
Right.
any other group, they don't get mad if you say like, yeah, we want to build a Chinatown in this region, and it's all Chinese people coming together and pulling their money. Nobody gets mad.
Nobody gets mad.
Nobody gets mad. So it
Right.
shouldn't be looked at as anti anything.
Mm-hmm.
It should not. It
I
should
know.
not. With that said, though,
Yeah.
we have to make sure when we're saying you're pro-black business or pro-black community,
Mm-hmm.
we're not letting others come in and infiltrate it and use it to co-opt the movement or to say
Mm-hmm.
use it as aggression towards another race, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of times what happens is bad actors get into those movements and they use it and they
Mhm.
promote things that's not what the movement was about.
That's what yeah, they co-op it,
Yeah,
and then of course they put a different narrative, right?
yeah.
And before you know it, you done lost the reason of what you're doing this for.
You got to kill the character
Mm.
before you can kill the man.
Absolutely.
That's what X said. You kill the character, and so that's what they'll try to do. So, uh, keep working. You know what I mean? You're working for the community, but you're working for Americans
Mm-hmm.
because we're Americans here.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody listening to know you are entitled to all the protections of America.
Come on.
As the Constitution is laid out, as everybody else, you're just as American as anybody else. If you're paying taxes and you're a citizen here, you're an American.
Mm-hmm.
Know that, even if it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like that at times.
That's what I'm gonna say, because sometimes it don't feel like that.
Yeah,
People are not so quick to take up on that badge as
yeah.
being an American.
Well, what other
But then
badges you want to take on?
but then that's what I be saying. Like though, it's some benefits to being American, right?
Man,
I just think it's the perception of it, right?
yeah,
Black people have been, done and bamboozled, lied, tricked,
all of it,
and raped,
all of it,
enslaved,
all
all in
of it,
this country, right?
all of it,
Of so-called Americans.
all of it,
But in all actuality, we were born on
all of
this continent, right?
it.
And then
Aboriginal,
we the
foundational.
Aboriginals, right? I was gonna say,
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you.
my folks, when you talk about Americans,
Yeah,
our people was here first, and like sometimes we don't even realize that. Like all of us didn't necessarily come from Africa, and then the fact
like,
that like my grandma is a Choctaw Indian
yeah,
from the south,
yeah,
so
yeah,
they were here,
yeah,
right? And she talks about that. She
yeah,
talk about her people had land. We got a
yeah,
whole bunch of land down in Edwards, Mississippi right now.
yeah,
So she talks about what her great grandfather and her grandfather did and her father,
yeah,
right, to be able to nurture them, prepare them for the land, for the things and activities that they're doing today.
yeah.
So yeah, you have to
That's-
understand that. So I guess that thing, when you talk about Americans,
Yeah.
as us being Americans, we should be very clear, right, that we deserve that
You gotta fight
much
for it.
as anybody else.
You gotta
You
fight
know what
for
I'm
it.
saying?
And
Yeah.
the one if I could say I want anything for our community here,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more people showing that American pride, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like visibly, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't necessarily gotta drape yourself in a flag,
Come
but
on now.
I wish our music kind of like when I want to play an American song, I gotta play a country or rock song. I wish we
Yeah.
had some in the R&B or rap or
Yeah.
something. It's
Mm,
because, like you said, a lot of us are foundational or Aboriginal Americans. A lot of
that's right.
people don't know on the census back in the day, Indians or natives were listed as Negro.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so then everybody got lumped in together.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you were of a darker hue or whatnot, your family, my family's from Alabama and Arkansas, and both sides of my family have significant portions of native ancestry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it if I show the picture of my grandfather, he looks like a typical native, right? High cheekbones, the same
Yeah.
complexion, all
Yeah.
that. And that's the issue. So part of it is, and this is what I know you did, you went to Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
finding your roots. And
Mm-hmm.
so I explained at the very top of the show, my name, my birth name, and I changed my name, right?
Mm-hmm.
I changed my name because I went to African ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
I did my DNA,
Yeah.
and it came back to the Ghanaian and Nigerian region. It came back to
Come
the
on now.
Yoruba and Fulani tribe.
And let me put a pin right there. So you got two different ways of going about this. You got ancestry.com, but then you got africanancestry.com,
There you go.
right?
There,
Which is ran by Gina Page.
there you go.
Now, we had the opportunity to go into Egypt together in 2017. So she broke down the two different the two different pathways to getting your ancestral information. And so, but African ancestry brings you all the way down to the tribe. It gets you deeper to the roots, right?
Get
So
you
if you're
full.
interested in getting a kit, we
Yeah.
suggest you go ahead and shop with AfricanAncestry.com.
And look it
And a
up.
big shout out to Gina Page.
And that, mind you, this is 20. I changed my name in 2012. So
Okay.
we did that then,
Mm-hmm.
and it's simply because that very thing. people telling you what you are. Everybody else can be like, yeah, I'm American, fourth generation. My family came over from Ireland or England or Germany. All we were told is we came over in the transatlantic, not knowing that majority, 80+% of all enslaved people didn't even end up in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that people were already here. If you go back and
Right.
read the books, the English wrote and they said the Africans were already skilled sailors of this route already. They had made many trips that we
Yeah.
could never make
Already.
before Columbus, before this was happening.
Absolutely.
So therefore, you find an omics all in North and South America. So I say all that to say this emboldens your pride. It doesn't take it away. It lets you know that you're here and you have the claim. I don't care who's telling you you're not, you are.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an American citizen, you're paying into a tax. I'm running to represent you, and you should have pride in where you are because if you don't claim America, where are you claiming? Because most of us don't know what country to go back to, and most of us
Right.
won't get a chance to go. Unfortunately, most people aren't going to get a chance to go to the Aboriginal land if it's not here. So
Absolutely.
therefore, if you're generationally here, embrace it, fall in love with it, and see how it can benefit you. It's a shift of a mindset, and that's how you have a freedom of thought,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you get to the places where you want to be.
Come on now. I like that. I like that. We encourage definitely,
Do
for
it.
all black people, we encourage you to trace your roots, right? Because it's important for you to know.
You
If
are
you
more than
don't
just
know,
a
then you
slave.
just continue lost, right?
Yep.
You'll be believing the story, whatever they told you.
Yep.
So man, so how did you get into joining the Republican Party? What
Yeah.
did
So when I started looking at, like I said, I've served both cabinets,
mm-hmm.
both parties, and you see the agenda, and it don't, both sides have an agenda.
Absolutely.
Um, the left goes to the exterior. I just didn't believe in their agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see them coming to cities like this and having real conversations. So I traveled the country and the world with them, and we were always going places that uh, were on the fringe.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't talking to the real people, and the real people, and if they were, it was in a very savior type of speech where they're promising things that it's never going to happen. Right? We're going to give you hope. We know your communities, for instance, Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
We know the highway cut through the middle of the black community, cutting off commerce and all that. So we're going to close this stretch of highway down. We're going to make it a new community again, which sounds good. It's talking to your sensibilities. The issue is the people that live in that community now are not the people that were affected in the 1950s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
The people that live there now came when the new industry came, and now they're being able to buy property for the low, and they're going to have the community that we should have had back then before it was cut up.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like on the left, it was always promises and hope. And I look outside of Flint, we've voted democratically, congressionally since the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are.
And mine, we graduated in early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
It's worse now than it was then. When we graduated, it was about 22,000 kids K through 12. We're about 1,500 kids K through 12 now.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at 5 elementary schools, 1 class per grade here now. All alternatives closed down, 1 high school. We're looking at 44% graduation rate as of 23. That's 2023. 33% dropout rate.
Mm-hmm.
So if we voted the same way for 50 years and this is the results, why would I continue to look at that party for answers?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even saying I hate the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
I don't like them. But I'm not saying I hate them. I'm just saying maybe
Yeah, I
we should
don't
look
like
somewhere
them.
different. No, I don't like them.
Right.
But maybe we should look somewhere different if
Mhm.
your way has not been working.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I have the same reservations about the Democratic Party. I think we became stagnant. A lot of times they just tell us what they think that people want to hear in cities like Flint, Detroit. But ultimately, man, we wanted action. And so for this long period of time of us being Democrat because our parents, grandparents, great grandparents told us this is who we are, the results have not been there. And we just gotta be honest and real with ourselves.
And you look
That's
at
the challenge.
so that's why I don't like the left. Let me tell you why I like the
Okay.
right. Right. So when
Mhm.
we I was a history major. I wanted to be a high school teacher, history teacher. Right.
Mhm.
So when you look at the first politicians after the Emancipation Proclamation, right? When we had
Mhm.
the Freedmen Bureau, and then you had the first black congressman,
Mhm.
Republican, right?
Yeah, we was the party of the Republic. Mhm. But then it switched along the way.
Well, you got Dixiecrats. Yeah, things
Mhm.
kind of switched, but the KKK were the Democrats, right?
Mhm.
And then it kept going. And what happened is after the Great Depression, FDR came in with the New Deal, and that's when all these programs, so Social Security and all these
Mhm.
things came in after the Great Depression. It was meant to be a stopgap. It was meant to be where people are struggling right now because they had been under Republican rule for like 70 plus years. So people are struggling right now. The government needs to step in and help people get by. It
Mhm.
wasn't meant to be for the entirety of the rest of the country. I mean, for the rest of the years, it was just meant to be a short amount of time.
Mhm.
After that, look what happened. So the government's giving you help now, right? You're
Mhm.
struggling as a family, but to get that, your husband has to leave the house.
Mhm.
So now the man is outside the house, right?
Breaking up the
So
family dynamics.
okay, so who did that target the most?
Black families.
We went for the
Mostly.
number one percentage wise,
Mhm.
married more, or had a higher rate than anybody else in the country to dead last.
Mhm.
So first, you have that. Second, now we're looking at abortion rates.
Mhm.
People say you can say it's Mary Sanger and what Jennings, basically studying the human body. And we know Henrietta Lacks. Have you heard that story? Henrietta Lacks. Same thing.
Stole their genetics and been using them out, right?
Yeah,
Without
so
permission.
people say that's who the creator of Planned Parenthood is, right?
Mhm.
That's where that came from. However, if that's true or not, abortion rates, we're looking at black women are first, Hispanic women are half of that. So black women are like 23, 24%.
Mhm.
Hispanic women are like 12%.
Okay.
White women are 5.7%, around there.
Mhm.
So I already told you, infant mortality
Mhm.
is highest in the country. So we're losing those babies.
Yeah.
We're number one in abortion. We're losing those babies. Incarcerated males. So they're not out in society being fathers, right? So we're losing those families.
Right.
So what part of when do we say how do we change these things? This is what's holding us back. If we're talking about as a people,
Mhm.
how do we get better? How do we get stronger as a community? Well, you got to get your numbers up. We know this. It's a numbers game. If it's, I don't know what it is now. Let's say it's 400 million people in the country, and we
Yeah.
make 22, give or take, whatever it is. We're 22 million.
Yeah, they say between two. I always had a problem with the census anyway.
What what do you? How do you think it's more?
I think it's more.
I think, well, it depends now because they count mixed races its own. So you have white, Hispanic, mixed race, black, Hispanic, right? Those are the different Asian. So far as black, if you count mixed, because societally, if you're mixed, you're black, right? Black in anything is black. However, census wise, you're mixed. So I don't know
But how, and that's
how do they
another
collect the
thing
data.
too. How do they collect that data, and then how do they break that down between the two? Because you're right. If you had a drop of black blood, then you was considered black.
But that was in the Jim Crow era. And
It
so
was.
now, people can self-identify. You can put whatever you want on there. So there are more African descents or people of African descent that are not classified as black because when you come from Egypt, when you come from Northern
You
Africa, Tunisia,
classify yourself as white.
there you go. So that and we know we have big pockets. However, really, black people is all consolidated on the East Coast, and the majority of us, 80% of us, are in the inner city
Mm-hmm.
from the East Coast, the South,
Mm.
right, far as Texas. So it goes like that. And then in Cali, sparse. But in the central of the country, we're not there. We're not there. So it's not hard for us to believe that it's in Michigan, we got 10 million people, 1.8, maybe 1.7 is black. So think about it like that. Like it's not hard to believe. But let's put it up to 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's still less than 10% of the country.
Yeah.
Let's
They
put it up to
say
50 million.
they say it's like we like 14%.
Okay.
How are they
14%.
getting that number?
However, where the Hispanics are more than us now.
Mm-hmm. And
So
that's daunting right there.
our numbers have stayed stagnant for generations.
Yeah.
That's really my point. The numbers have stayed stagnant for
Mm-hmm.
generations. So if it's a numbers game,
You gotta get
'cause
our numbers up. Mm-hmm. And
that's
the
it.
way you do that is keeping brothers out of prison, right?
Build the family is how you do it.
Build a family, right? But the brothers gotta be out of prison to
Absolutely.
be able to build a family and marry a woman, a black woman,
There you go.
to be able to procreate, which the Most High has put us on this world to do, have a family, and have them sustainable. Right? Now you're absolutely right.
What are we fighting for? And this is for all. This is not just black people. You're fighting for the family. The
Hmm.
family is the cornerstone of every successful community.
Absolutely, I agree
That's
with
what we're fighting for. So anything, and you know this knowledge like I do, we either build or we destroy.
you. Absolutely.
It's simple as that. We either
Mhm.
build or we destroy. So not going to prison, not being incarcerated, understanding the game and how the system was, you could be fall victim to a system, right?
Mhm.
Um, staying out of those areas, making sure that you'll be able to go get a job, come home to your family, raise your family up, and they
Mhm.
stand on your shoulders. They go a step further. And a lot of us in our generation, that's what we did. We stood on our parents or whoever raised us, and we went a step further. That's why we're doing great. A
Mhm.
lot of us are doing great, moved out, but we need to come back here and do the same thing. And for the people that are here, we need to make it where that's incentivized
Mhm.
the family. The fact that the government was complicit on kicking a parent out the household just so you could receive subsidies or
Yeah.
assistance unapologetically. Now
Mhm.
you calling Uncle Sam daddy.
Indirectly, you're absolutely right, and that has definitely has played a part that has plagued the black dynamics in families. Right, when you force the male out the household, you lose daddy. Right, and that's something that fathers is needed in the household,
Man,
right? That
well,
contribute to why our young boys and our young girls they understand their role in society. Like if you had that father figure in the home with you growing up, then you get that structure,
yeah,
right? You get that value system,
yeah,
you get that that discipline,
yeah.
and
Everything the
that's
father
something that we
provides.
lacking today.
And shout out to all the mothers
Hmm.
and all the single parents. I'm a single
Yeah.
parent at this time. Shout out to everybody holding it down, doing your best. By no means the
Hmm.
saying bringing the fathers back home.
Yeah.
Are we taking a shot at the women that's been holding it down for generations, especially in this community? You've been going to school, you've been working, you've been taking care of your children and making sure they had the best life possible, probably a better life than you had. So shout out to you. However, it would be even better if you could do it with someone else and y'all can have a like mind going towards a like goal for your children. That's the goal. That was our standard from the very beginning. And some way, somehow, we kind of got off course, but we can get back to it. Nobody's perfect. I ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. I fell short.
I'm with you.
I fell
I'm
short.
a single father right there with
Yeah,
you. You want to make sure that you give your children the best opportunity possible. And if we can't be in the household together, we should definitely have a good co-parenting system together.
yeah,
Right. But nevertheless, right, if you can do it in a way where you do have both parents in the household raising those children,
yeah.
those babies will be more successful in life.
It's just the stats. That's stats. Yeah.
So so we're gonna take a quick change of a turn. We want to do a business highlight here in Flint and Genesee County community. Yeah, we talking about highlighting businesses here in the city. One thing for sure, we want to give some love and a big shout out to On the Bricks, which is
Mhm.
located downtown here, right in the quarters. Beautiful space, outside structure, phenomenal. It's just a great environment. I love the environment. I love the people there. It's ran like a good business, respecting the people, the patrons. It gives you, great food, things on the menu. And I definitely want to give a big shout out to my brother Delano Burton, man. You're doing your big one. And we just appreciate having you in the community. So be sure to go ahead and shop, go down there and support them, go down there and patronize. Go ahead
Absolutely.
and get you some of them turkey chops, right? From Chef Q out there in the back holding it down. Right. I just was in there this past weekend. I got the grilled chicken. It was bomb, right? So go down there, see Pooh, go
Yeah.
down there to shop on the bricks. Be sure to go ahead and tap in down there, located
And
right downtown.
spend
Getting
your
food
money in
great.
the community.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
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 So we talking, brother Amir. We talking about um, just the strategies as far as what we can do as far as changing the trajectory of people's lives, right? So he's currently running for a position in Congress, right? He's a brother from the neighborhood, the community of Flint. He's representing, when you talk about Republicans. And, I know this is something different, right? Because we was having a conversation about this just in general. So he's a black man that's Republican, and he's also Muslim, right? And that's a different change for, I guess the original makeup of Republicans, I guess, in this time, what we
Yeah.
seeing today,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So But the thing is, man, that's unique in itself, right? And I'll just be honest with you. Sometimes, whether it be in different parties, group agencies, whatever, man, you need a fresh look.
Yeah,
Like you need new ideas. Like we not the groups of 50 years ago.
right,
So man,
right,
we not that Flint. We just saying like, yeah, we can talk about what we had back in the day when we came up, which was beautiful,
right,
but we live in different times.
right.
So meaning that we need to be defining what that looks like for here in the future. And then, the next 50 years is gonna be a different group of people that's gonna go out there and reshape it what makes sense for them. So
Yeah,
what do you say as far as, man, we was having some, offline conversations about some of the things that cities like Flint need, cities like
yeah,
Detroit need, you know, what do we need to do to change this current circumstances that we're dealing with
right.
to be able to change it
Mm.
to give folks here a greater quality of life?
First of all, we already outlined the plan to work for one. The second thing is we have to make sure our education is where it needs to be. Our babies need to be reading. By third grade is the metric.
Yeah.
And I speak about the Mississippi Miracle
Mhm.
often. Mississippi was ranked 49th, between 44 and 49th, and 46 and 49th in the country in reading.
Mhm.
One of the poorest states in the country, and really one of the most illiterate. In a 5 year span, they went from 49th or almost last to sixth. It's called the Mississippi Miracle. So, how does a
Mhm.
state that has less population, less money, less lower GDP,
Mhm.
how do they achieve these things, right? And they have
Yeah.
the same dynamics. They have, poverty rate and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have to look at it. The first thing is they have literacy teachers or tutors. So not only they get tutored in school, but then even in the summer months, you're getting tutored as well. Secondly, is by third grade, if you're not reading at or above level, you get retained.
Mm.
When you and I grew up, you could flunk.
Yeah.
We know plenty of people that flunk, held back.
Yeah. No, you're right.
There became a time, especially during the politically correctness of this country, where a parent can opt out and say, "Nah, my child ain't being held back. They're fine, right? They can
Mhm.
go to the next class." And what
Mhm.
happens is, we're graduating people that can't, they're illiterate, right?
Absolutely.
And so,
That's exactly what happened.
that's all that happens. And
Mhm.
so, you learn to read, so you can read to learn, is what they say.
Mhm.
But then how are you marketable to a job or to a company if you can't comprehend the basics? So then it leads to other things. It leads to not paying attention in the class, not paying attention in at work,
Mhm.
um, distracting somebody else playing, or anger issues because you can't follow along.
Mhm.
It just trickles after
Yeah.
third grade. So therefore, we have to fix that first, for one.
Mhm.
For two, in the city, we have to support what's already here. So therefore, if we have, you know, Spectacular Spuds. You got
Mhm.
Wayne's Barbershop, the barbershop across the street. You got Bats of the Bricks. You have these locally owned business, La Familia, La Azteca, the long-standing restaurants. We need to make sure we're spending our money with them.
Mhm.
We'll make sure
Absolutely.
we take care of those people because these are long-standing institutions. And with that, develop the other ones. We were speaking on the new grocery store on the north end, right?
Absolutely.
We need to make sure that we're supporting that business because that's addressing a dire need. It was almost a food desert
Mhm.
on that side of the city. So if you have a grocery store with fresh produce,
Mhm.
which goes far as brain food and being able to sustain yourself and the type of energy you put into your body, we need to make sure we're taking care of that. So if I am giving government assistance
Mhm.
and they accept government assistance, I should be spending that with them.
Of course.
If they're investing into the
Mhm.
community,
Yeah.
directly, right?
Mhm.
And that's not, you have other convenience stores around, but a lot of time, you know what that old adage was? They weren't sending their kids to those public schools that we
Mhm.
frequent.
Yeah.
They were taking the money and going home to wherever they live and going to their families.
You
So
know
if
it.
we have a store that's here in the community,
Mhm.
that's how you circulate that dollar. And they're bringing you fresh produce.
Yeah.
Everybody in that area, or if you're in a commutable area driving wise, you should
Mhm.
be going to this store to get your produce.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, and they use local vendors too, right? So that
Absolutely.
that fruit, vegetables is not traveling from all across the other side of the country to get here on the shelves here in another town. No,
Agriculture
it's
is the
all
third
local,
biggest
right?
commerce of the state.
And so definitely, man, big shout out to the Northland Food Market.
Absolutely.
If you have not been over there to the building, you should go because it's a beautiful space. But then nevertheless, man, it has the best foods you can get here right on the north side of Flint in the desert. So, the grand opening was a couple weeks ago. People have been over there shopping nonstop. And then I just love to feel the energy when you walk through the building. I think people see it's a reflection of some things that the community did together. And that's one of the big things about Ujama. Ujama is cooperative economics. And then we can practice cooperative economics, then we can really change the facets of some of these structures that's currently out here. When first we talking about we addressing necessity with food, right? Because everybody has to eat, right? You have to have good food, right? None of that spoiled meat, none of that, about to expire, and none of that,
Canned, preservative,
canned goods,
sodium
high in
replaced.
sodium, right?
Yeah,
None of that stuff, right?
yeah.
So those things is something that's essential to the well-being of our life. And then also we should be looking at our financial institutions. We need to do a credit union, right? We need to be able to establish maybe healthcare or a clinic, right, or a hospital, right? So those things are the buildings, the foundational blocks to every society, every community, right? You got to have that, right? When you having all those things covered, you're doing and can make a change. Simple as that.
That's your part to play.
Mhm.
It's not shop locally, shop with the people that bring that food to you. That's
Mhm.
your part to play.
Yeah,
Uh, and that will pay dividends.
absolutely.
It will pay
And you're
dividends.
responsible to keep it open and keeping it clean, right? So you have to shop there, right?
And protect it. And protect it. Let's that's a treasure for now. So I salute to the ones that made that happen, both
Hmm.
on the political side
Yep.
and then on the business side and then the community.
Hmm.
I salute you. That's what it's really about. That's what it's really about. And it's my job on a federal level to make sure that we're cutting regulations or deregulating. So it's not hard for you to open a business. You're not getting overly taxed. You don't have to worry about extra thousand rules of compliance. It should not be difficult
Hmm.
from the government standpoint for you working and you succeeding and you prospering. It's hard enough doing it. It's my job to work for you to make sure you're able to do it multiple times, and we can use that blueprint across the whole district from Flint to Bay City, where we can have community owned and operated businesses that serve the community. Therefore, when the government does shut down, we're not relying upon anybody else to feed our babies to make sure they're starving. Therefore, we're not relying upon the government to provide us anything because we take care of each other. That's
Hmm.
the goal. The lowest level of government works, less government interference. That's where it's at. And that's how we build. And we have the opportunity here now. And that's
Hmm.
why I'm really excited to run, because this is the first time in a long time where the tides are changing a little bit, right? We can see. And as a Republican, we mentioned, being Muslim, being black from the inner city, we haven't had this type of um, candidate here
No, yeah,
before.
yeah.
Um, but it shows we do exist in this space. For
Hmm.
too long, when it comes to political parties, they will act like there are no black Republicans from the inner city or of of a certain type of background.
Yeah,
That's a lie. It's just they might not have been allowed.
yeah,
They might not have been allowed to
yeah,
speak their piece because it was so many dominated by another party. But they're here and we're here,
yeah.
and a lot of us here have those ideals.
Come
And
on now.
if you don't and you differ, then we should be able to have a discussion. We should be able to debate in front of others and allow that to make us stronger and
Yeah,
make us see from a different vantage point. So maybe we can come together and really build something we've never had here. All I can say is we've never had proper representation that changed our lives for the better here. Since my mother graduated in 74, I graduated in '04. It's gotten worse every single year. We've had people trying, giving their life and blood to fixing this place, and they built beautiful programs. Everybody that's invested their lives to this community, I thank you. You've done a great job. However, it has not been from the federal all the way down to our local levels working in unison to change this. And that's what I'm wanting to do.
come on now. That was good. That was
Yeah,
good. I definitely appreciate too.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate when brothers step up, man. Just in general, man. They want to be the change that they seek to see, man. And it take a lot of grit to go up through the ranks or whatever
Yeah,
party you're running in, right? I like to look at myself as an independent,
as
right?
you should.
But because I understand some of the things that the Republicans say, and I understand some of the things the Democrats say. At the end of the day, it's about what the people say, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we're gonna transition into the X round, right? We're just gonna call this the rated X, right? So what this is just we throw up a topic, right? And then we have, 5 minutes to kind of go ahead and go in and discuss it. We'll just be kind of throwing different things out there, right? And then we just kind of converse about it,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So, one of the things as our producer, Coach Brian, dials us up, um, we want to impact the mind, right? We got to get folks to think about things. I think right now, just like my grandfather used to say, sometimes people don't even want to think about stuff no more because it's so hard. So when you look at it, man, people rather entertain themselves and laugh to keep from crying. And that's a sad thing. So with this one, we're gonna go in, we're gonna get something pulled from the back here. And we just throw some names up there, just some stuff right there. So when we get a countdown, we're ready to go.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay.
So,
Let's just say the Epstein Files.
Go.
Right?
the Epstein Files, they came out. They voted for them to be released. They're about to be released.
Mm.
Once they're released, and we see what's in them, we'll have to go from there. I don't do hypotheticals. I don't do hypotheticals, and I'll talk about what if. I want to see what's in them, and then we'll address it appropriately.
Now I feel you. I want to see what's in them too. I know they say it's a lot of prolific people in there. They say it's a lot of information in there.
Yeah,
One thing for sure, like, you got children, I got children.
absolutely.
So anybody who falls in line with harming children,
Yeah,
that's a problem.
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So I don't care if
Absolutely.
it's put them through slave trades. I don't care if
Man,
it's,
listen.
treating them indifferent.
Listen,
Right? That is a terrible thing to do because as adults, we are here to protect our children.
as men, we're supposed to be provider and protectors. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so there is no safe harbor for anybody who violates children.
Absolutely, man. And I think, and I don't know what was taking them so long to drag their feet to, open these files because
Man,
let
listen.
me say this: if you didn't do anything wrong, like you pull the veil up, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and put that paperwork out
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
That's just like a snitch in the streets. Like if I know that my paperwork good, they know that I'm solid, right?
So,
Pull my paperwork. Matter
yeah.
of fact, I'm gonna pull my paperwork, pull up
And
on you,
post it.
bring my
Yeah,
paperwork to
absolutely.
you, right? You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm
Absolutely.
solid. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Republican, right? So
Mhm.
well, these Epstein files are on right now, but Biden administration was in there 4 years. Epstein was
Yeah.
dead.
I agree.
If they hate President Trump on the left, right? So they don't want him to get in office. If they had them Epstein files and they knew he was implicated in those Epstein files,
Yeah.
you would think they would have dropped that hot on the press. Like, nah, you can't be president. This is the nuclear option right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but to me, that's neither here nor there. It's not even political. We talking about the worst of the worst.
Absolutely. Oh,
That's aggressive.
all right. Thanks, Go Brian.
That's-
Okay. Election 2026
Yeah.
in Flint community.
Okay.
So, as you know, this is our second one.
We doing?
Yep.
Go.
So as you know, right, we do have election coming up here in the city of Flint. We got all city council, we got mayor, right? Even state representative, right? The current setup right now, now to be very honest, it's not working.
Okay.
Right? When
Okay.
you talk about we got people down there that's in position but don't really care about the people that they serve in that position. We got to make a change, right? And I would say this: Eric Mays is no longer down there, right? They used to blame it on him as if he was the problem, but he's
Disruptor.
not in the mix no more. So you
Right.
can't say that. They still not getting things done.
Right.
What you feel about it?
I think you need a complete overhaul.
I agree.
I think you need to open it. It need to be an open seat for all of them. And
Mhm.
I'm all about free market competition anyway. So
Mhm.
if you really are solidified and you're doing what you say and you're already elected, well, your work will speak for yourself, and your people of your district and your zone uh, of your ward will speak for you, right?
Mhm.
And so let's open it all up. But from what I've seen, the fighting and the physical altercations and the name calling and all that, man, this gets national exposure, and this is how we're conducting ourselves. And these are elected officials
Mhm.
that's supposed to take care of the most sensitive, like I said, the most important government is local,
Mhm.
and these are the people that's representing us. That's not a good look. So, uh, I encourage everybody to get involved. If you feel like you could be better, I suggest you stand up and run because it does take a lot to run. But if
Mhm.
you feel like you can help the community, I think that that person should stand up and try to run for those spots. And
Mhm.
let's bring it back to a professional and really have the city of Flint on the mind of how do we get better.
Right.
You know,
And I think we just need some new people. We need new faces. We need new energy. We
Yeah.
need new concepts. We need new ideas, man. I think this old guard that's been in place for so long have kind of set up the way that it's going to be. But as young people, the revolution always started with us, right? It's time for us to change the game.
and come home. If you're successful anywhere else, come home. Bring that success with you.
Absolutely. Okay, good. Okay. You got one more? Okay. Let's go with Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is interesting, right? When I first was hearing her, man, I just thought she was bat crazy. I don't know. I just thought, I don't know what she was on.
Yeah.
I just kind of lost, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, everybody got their own perspective. But lately, she's been attacking Trump.
Yeah.
Right? She's been going at the Republican Party.
Yeah.
She's been saying all the things that people are looking at, like, wow,
Yeah.
I can look and maybe even listen to her one day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What's up with her?
She fake.
You think she faking?
I
What
ain't
you
like
think? She thinks she's trying to get
I
in
ain't like
position for something else?
man. Listen, I ain't like her then. I don't like her now.
Really?
Did you listen? She used to go hard, right?
She
She
used
used
to
to
go
go
super hard.
hard for MAGA, for Trump,
All
for
that.
she used to go hard, whether it was reasonable or not. And I'm
Yeah.
talking hard.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you soften and you go on the View and you say, no,
I'm a
I
mother.
apologize. I'm a mother. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's a
Come on.
PR stunt,
Come on,
man.
man. Be a mama.
Like I said, yeah. All right. My point is, man, stand on it. That's everything. Like we have to get back to holding accountability
Yeah.
and politicians accountable the same way we hold people in our community accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Stand on it. You said
Yeah.
that. Stand on it.
Yeah.
Stand on it.
Yeah.
I would have accepted an apology had she not been delivered bad news. If anybody doesn't know, she wanted to run for Senate versus a Georgian senator, the standing incumbent down there.
Mhm.
The poll said she was going to lose like 80-20 or something. It was crazy. It was going to be a landslide.
Yeah, that's-
President Trump was like, "No, I'm not going to endorse you because you have no chance to win." When that happened,
she was done.
uh, that's when the
That's when
split
she-
really happened.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's when she started talking. You
So
know what I
they
mean?
thought they didn't want to support her. She felt slighted, and she had to get
Because she
back.
was going hard for him. She was going hard for him that whole time, and now
Now she going hard for those victims. That
that's an easy out. That's
I
an
mean,
easy out. That's an
they-
easy. That's low hanging fruit. It's like it was.
sometimes, hey, listen, like you know
I
what?
don't hear it.
Sometimes they say people. Okay. Oh, I think that was hot. What you think, Coach?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
hear it. I don't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do want to go ahead and go into some neighborhood news. One thing for sure. So this is the neighborhood news segment. One thing for sure, man. Fires have been breaking out all across the community. People burning down buildings, homes catching on fire, and I think we got an arsonist in the community, right? It's either that or people are looking to get the insurance policy. I don't know. Whatever it is, man. It's just been a lot of fires. I was coming down the street the other day, and I seen smoke just all up in there. I couldn't even see my house. Now that was crazy. But then I came down Martin Luther King Street, and what do you see? Swanson Funeral Home was on fire early Saturday morning, and it's down to rubble. So whatever the case may be, man, if we got people out here setting fires, if we got people out here just trying to burn down buildings, we got people burning down houses just so they can get their insurance money, you need to cut it out. Right? We tired of seeing these communities looking ravished with burnt down buildings and blight. We just don't like to see that just in general. So what we have to do is more building up. And if we want to tear those buildings and those structures down, use the demo money to do it. Right? That's what the land bank is for. They got funds over there for that. Nevertheless, right? Let's go ahead and put an end to setting fires, having all these different traps taking place, and then people are trying to look at an easy out, right? To capitalize off of abandoned building, if you will. Right? Yeah, man. So, it has been definitely, trauma driven,
Yeah.
we really want to see Flint in the space that, you know, where I think we can envision it to be.
Yeah.
And so, even just based on this conversation, man, I was definitely, man, I think you got some really good ideas, and I really feel like you got the heart to come back to the city. And I always say, like, the people who have the talent, like, we need to retain that. Like
Yeah,
we
that's the goal.
need this type of energy here,
Yeah,
right? So then that
that's
way
the
we
goal.
can be able to do the work.
Yeah,
It don't matter what side of the veil you on.
right,
And we in the back room, when we talking about what we want to see, and it's gonna change the life for many,
right,
right? And then it
right.
address some of those issues that you see. When you talk about infant mortality, you
Yeah,
talk about incarceration,
yeah,
mass incarceration.
yeah,
When you talk about the judicial system down there and how they charging people under 18 as adults.
yeah.
Like the thing is this, we have to go ahead and come back to the table united.
There you go.
You
That's
know
what it
what I
starts with.
mean?
That's what it starts with. You have to. Everything you're saying is on point
Mm-hmm.
because what it comes down to, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, Libertarian, doesn't matter. Green Party. The love should be of your community,
Absolutely.
whether it's and for me, I'm a natural born Flintstone, but I
Mm-hmm.
love Flint the same way I love Saginaw, Midland, and Bay City. And I want the same because I want a parent to be proud to know that their kids can go out to play and are safe.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to schools, they don't got to worry about them getting shot up. They're going to have good food there. They're going to have a good education, and they're going to be productive member of society when they grow. And they're
Mm-hmm.
going to have love for self, family, and country. And we
Absolutely.
want the same thing for everyone in all these cities.
Mm-hmm.
It takes everyone. Now, everybody may not be ready for this conversation or ready to get involved, but for the ones that are ready for a change and know it can be better and been other places,
Mm-hmm.
the grass is never greener.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what they put into their grass.
Mm.
And now let's pour love into our grass. Let's pour the seeds into our grass to make it green as it can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dedicated. I live here. I've
Yeah.
been gone for a amount of time, but I live here. I brought my daughter with me because I want her raised in a community like this.
Yeah.
So for everybody that says they're leaving and they want to go somewhere else, it's okay. But I'm gonna make it where a place where you can come back. I'm gonna make it a place where the grandparents can see their grandkids every single day. They can go to church together, play games together, go hoop, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna bring Flint, we're gonna bring the Saginaw Valley Conference back to prominence as
Come
it
on.
once was through unification
Okay.
through an
Okay.
understanding of getting better and
Mm-hmm.
just being regular. I think the biggest misconception of Congress and politicians and all that is like they're on some high horse. You only see them once in a while. You can't speak to them. You're not accessible. I'm here. I live
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah.
I live in the city. You're gonna see me the same on the bricks. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? You're gonna see me downtown in the flat lot. You're gonna see my daughter out here at
Mm-hmm.
school
Yeah.
because we're of the community, and that's what representation is.
Yes.
Somebody of the community,
Mm-hmm.
somebody of the district.
Mm-hmm.
Just I go to Washington to argue for us and fight for us, and that's what we have to get back to. You should be always know who your congressman is. If you don't know who your congressman is, it's not for me to tell you. She should have been introduced herself. Genesee County is 52% of this district. You don't win this district without winning Genesee County.
Mm-hmm.
She won Genesee County and she won this district. Do you know who she is?
And that's a good question. You definitely should know who's representing you. I know when you get into the ballot and you see all these different names on there, right? You might see in a postcard, you may see a yard sign, but you should know these folks. They should be coming to your community. And that's what I always had a big problem with some of the elected officials, the people that's in the state representation, people that's in your Congress,
Man,
right? They don't necessarily come down to the community because once they won an election, you don't see them until it's time to vote again. They're gonna stop by at your event, they'll come check you out then, but they not here on a day-to-day basis. And you need people that's gonna represent for you every day.
every
It's
day.
not a day and time that go by that you don't need folks to be out there fighting to get resources here in the community.
Can she pull up to where you live unescorted without anybody else bringing her along for whatever reason, whether it's safety, not knowing where people are? Can she come into the middle of this community that's responsible for her having that seat by herself and have a conversation free of hesitation, trepidation, just normal, natural, authentic self? Can she? Because I'm in Midland and Bay City doing that every single day.
Mm,
And it's the same dynamic, it's just flipped. I'm there every single day doing it. I'm in this community every single day doing it.
mm,
Does your representation, can she do the same thing?
mm.
I'm not here to badmouth her or demean her or anything, but I'll just ask you, was she the most qualified person for that position? Knowing that it has to go through Flint? Were there no politicians here that should have been given that chance
I,
with that backing?
I understand.
That's the question you have to ask. So you ask the difference between Republican and Democrat. Republican, I didn't have to beg or anything else. I put my who I am on the table. I said I was going to run. I was doing the work. I drown or I succeed. I swim based on my own merit.
mm-hmm,
Democratic Party is a little bit different. They
mm-hmm.
pick and choose who they want to represent them.
Yeah, yeah, they do that, and it's time out for that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, when you go out there to vote, you make sure that you vote for somebody that you can connect with, like people that's gonna be there on a day-to-day basis, people that's in the grassroots, that's on the ground with you. Like you said, can pull up to your event, to your house, have a conversation with you over some coffee, right? Because they really care.
I'm not hard to find. Call me.
Mhm.
Call me. Believe me, we all know somebody of the same.
Yeah.
It's a small city. It's a small place. I will have a conversation with anyone of any political ideology at any time. Let's get a drink. Let's get some food. We'll stay respectful and cordial, and we can have it any time. We can facilitate it, and we can do it on camera.
Hmm.
That's what it's about. Can you and are you willing to have a conversation with somebody who you don't agree with for the same common goal? And can you come to a unified understanding of how to achieve that goal? That's what it's going to take to do to bring change to this community.
No,
Most politicians ain't willing to do that.
they not. But it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day of new politicians. And I'm excited to see what 2026 election is going to turn out to be, man. And where all the chips fall, I think that, it's a time like this time right now is right for change. So this is the most perfect time to be getting involved. So I do want to take it to the national stage, right? One thing for sure, man, Shedeur Sanders, right?
Yeah, man, you
Whether you
kill it.
like it or love it, right?
Yeah,
Today was his first start, and
Hey,
the boy went bananas,
went up.
right?
Yeah.
It went up, right? I could just see the smiles on the people in Cleveland. I see the stadium just activated, right? Now, if you didn't even care for this young man, you rooted because you see how that franchise has done him. You see how the NFL have concluded to keep him out of the draft. And they didn't even want him to really be a star play, whatever, right? This young man has the personality which I respect because he stays in the fight
Mhm.
and he has a good attitude about it, right? And the work ethic is gonna speak for itself. So when you see, man, when I seen him out there today, man, when I seen some of his highlights, man,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I would just put a smile on my face because I already knew.
Hey,
Once them lights come on, once it's
hey,
game time,
got it.
his number is called. Listen, he went out and
Got that
showed up
dub.
and showed out.
You got that dub. You got
That
that dub. And hey, I'm a teacher, right? So I
yeah,
always look at it like it
yeah,
don't matter what other people tell you about you.
hmm
What you believe about yourself.
yeah,
And when it's time to show, it's time to prove, do you
yeah.
step up?
Come on,
And he showed up.
shit, he sure did.
He
Sure,
got that dub convincingly, right?
yeah,
It doesn't matter the circumstance. He got that dub. And so
yeah.
therefore, hopefully every year and every week he progresses better yet. And that's what we love to see. It's a great story. Hey, that young man got heart. He got heart and he got
Man,
talent. And he showed it on the biggest stage.
man, that brother do got heart, man.
Yeah.
And then I do want to give credit to his father, man, Deion Primetime
Yeah.
Sanders, man.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, man, I really wanted to play cornerback because of him, man. He changed the face of football on the defensive side of the ball,
Yeah.
right? He made you want to go out there and be out there and shuffle and pick interceptions and, what I'm
Cause
saying,
y'all was
showboat
pretty
at the
out there.
same
Y'all wasn't
time.
in them trenches, man. Y'all was out there pretty with your little tiles and accessories, man.
Come
Playing that
on
ad
now.
wood with
Come
all
on
that,
now.
man. Y'all
Come
wasn't in
on,
them
man.
trenches with the big sexies. You know
Listen.
what I mean? Shout out to big sexies.
Come on, man. Listen. I mean, we had the black
Yeah,
under eyes. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? A little do rag on. It was going down.
Talking the Whittier days, man. Great.
Hey, man, it was definitely, man. I'm telling you, I had them diamond truths. Remember them shoes we
Yeah,
had?
absolutely.
Diamond turfs back in the day, man.
Them black
Listen, man.
granddaddies, man.
I'm about to go cop some off the internet right
Plus,
now, man. I'm gonna
great.
shop some just for that Santa
Hey,
family.
man.
And I just appreciate him being a father, and taking his journey along with his sons and, being a supporter, right? Put him in position, right?
Yeah,
That's the true essence of what dads represent.
yeah.
And so he never gave up. And I'll never see them boys ever giving up. And I love what they represent. So man, big shout out to the both of them, man.
Man,
You
listen,
know what I'm
you
saying?
can't
Just
say
together.
enough about having a present father. You can't say it enough. And I had my father till 13, he passed, right? And
Mhm.
so you know what it's like to have and not to have. And
Yeah.
the proudest thing I can say is all my friends, all my guys, all are great fathers.
Come on now.
All are great
Come on now.
fathers. And
Absolutely.
that's the stigma they try to put on us. And I see the trend of men wanting to be fathers again in the
Hmm.
community. That's the biggest, that's how I know change is on the horizon.
Yeah.
Because men, it's two things we got to do. Men should want to be men
Hmm.
and be fathers,
Yeah.
and men need to make sure they're protecting and loving their women correctly. That's the biggest thing. We're not adversaries.
Yeah.
We're not opponents. We're not
Mhm.
into being competition with each other. A
Mhm.
man is there to provide and protect and support, and a woman is there to support and nurture. That's
Absolutely.
our roles.
Mhm.
He should be bigging his wife up at every chance she get.
Yeah.
And she should be supporting this man every chance we get. And it's a beautiful thing to see that the younger generations are getting married at a higher clip than we were and staying together. And anybody going through it, you're married, stay with it. Stay with it. It will work out. As soon as you feel like you can't do it no more, go another day and you realize you can do it forever. And
Come on.
that's the goal. And that's coming from somebody who failed and who's looking to correct those wrongs and correct those mistakes. So
Yeah.
I salute everybody who's living that life. We're gonna bring family back to the forefront, and that's how we're gonna lead again. I can't say it enough.
Beautiful, beautiful, man. There you have it, man. I definitely, man, I appreciate the conversation, man,
Hey, man.
and just the whole energy, man. And you know what I'm
Always,
saying? You always welcome to be on this
I appreciate it.
platform.
We
And
got to do it again, man. As the campaign goes and as the city grows, we we got the city stated or city of the union
yeah,
address
okay,
that's coming up December 9th. That's
okay,
at Capitol Theater where the mayor is going to talk. I encourage everyone to show up so you
yeah,
can actually hear the state of the city. You know what I
mhm,
mean, and see what's going on and the future plans. And I'll keep you involved as we grow. We'll have more events and fundraising events and functions where we get the community involved because it's going to take a grassroots effort. Listen, I am one of you. I'm your brother. I'm your cousin. I'm your friend. Uh, this is the first time ever that we've had someone that can actually do it and represent us in a real way.
mhm.
And I don't care if you're in Midland, Saginaw, Bay City, or Genesee County. I'm for you. If you're for family, if you're for protection of American values, and if you're a man or a woman of faith, I'm for you. I'm
Yeah.
for you, and we're gonna bring it back.
Listen, that's all you can ask for, man. Listen, one thing for sure, if you're not registered to vote, be sure to do that. Our
Yeah.
elections is coming up. We have a primary in August next year. The general election is in November.
Yeah.
Make sure that you do vote, man. I know people just think that, we just throw those things out there. They think that nothing is going to change. They think that people's going to continue to do the same old thing. But let me tell you this, man. The sun is setting over there. When you start looking at what's different, I feel a difference that's taking place of us right now. Like we want to be doing something. We want to step up. We want to go ahead and be the orchestrators of change. And that's happening right before our eyes. So be sure to go ahead and be involved. Whether you have conversations at your dinner table, whether you're talking with your network of youth, whether you're just at at the park with your homeboys, and make sure everybody is a part of this process, right? We got to move like that. We got to stand on business. So whatever we
Understand.
value and whatever we respect, whatever we want to showcase for the world to see, and for our younger generation to step up into, we have to build structures. We have to leave legacy. So, man, once again, man, I had our brother Amir Hassan. He's running for a congressional seat in the 8th district next year. Be sure to check him out. All right, all you gotta do is check him out. The brother is accessible. You can give him a call. You can catch him out at the barbershop,
Hey,
or
sound
go
talk.
check him out at his fundraiser. Right?
Absolutely.
Just make sure that you check him out. Right?
Look,
So then that way you can make the assumptions for yourself.
Hassan for MI. HASSANFORMI.com. Hassan for MI on all socials. Uh, hit me. Let's talk. Let's talk. Before anything else, let's talk.
Let's do it. All right, man. Listen, man. We sign out with the X, man, when we sign out of here. So, man, listen, man. DeWaun E. Robinson. Give a big shout out to our Flintstone girls.
Yeah,
And sure, a big shout out to Coach Brian.
Big shout out.
Big shout out to the missus and the whole team. Royal X Productions and all these other situations, man. We signing out.
Hey, peace.